When I saw this Dame trade request finally come to fruition, I said, thank you, it is about time.
That's right, that's right.
At least Dame is doing what Dame has to do to go be a winner. We said it on Friday's show, and truth be told, kudos to the entirety of this show, because we've really talked about all the nuances of this Dame Lillard situation. We're going to do even better for y'all today. Here is really my biggest thought in regards to Dame requesting a trade, and it came because Joy was on top of it. You sent a message to the group chat, and this is my realest thought. If we have the one message that Dame has put out to his 12+ million followers on social media since requesting the trade, he put out one message. If we have it, we'll show it to you. If not, I'll read it. Dame said, quote, "It's in my blood to take the high road. I'd love to hear what fans are turning on, and have I misled them or anyone? Fill me in." Quote, I'll let y'all read it again. "It's in my blood to take the high road. I'd love to hear what fans are turning on. Have I misled them?" Here's what is so fascinating to me. Is Dame built for this? Is Dame built for this, meaning being the villain? Dame is clearly built to be one of the greatest hoopers the game of basketball has ever seen. But when you request a trade, that's a preliminary step to demanding a trade. And when you demand a trade, oh, well, now the villain is about to become your new destination, your new title. I'm wondering, Joy, really my instant reaction was, man, great job, Dame, but are you built for this? 13+ million followers he has between Twitter and Instagram. He has not said anything himself besides claiming to take the high road and a curiosity of why are fans turning on him. Oh, it's about to be a long road ahead if you want to get exactly what it is that you require. Joy, what was your reaction? What did you make of Dame requesting a trade?
I was actually shocked. I told you guys, I did not allow myself to dream about Damian Lillard leaving the Blazers. He said time and time again he wants to win a championship there. We've gone through some bouts of this over the years of is Dame going to leave and should he go here, and teams obviously being interested in him, and nothing has ever happened. Nothing has ever come of it. So I genuinely was the person who was surprised that he actually went through with it. I didn't allow myself to dream. It's always let me down. I think it's exciting for fans of Dame specifically, and I think it's exciting for NBA fans. It's obviously disappointing for Blazers fans, but things come to an end. They don't last forever. And I think he gave them a lot of grace when it came to building a team around him and putting together a championship roster. They didn't do that. They didn't move in the direction that he thought was appropriate at this point in his career. He's been paid a lot of money, and I think he's earned the right to be in this position. It'll be an interesting conversation because he's set the table so uniquely with wanting to be loyal to this organization. I don't care, but it is going to be a conversation.
I love it. I wasn't shocked. I was happy. I'm like, finally, Dame Lillard, let him go. Now we can see Dame Lillard on the big stage, on the big games, seeing him back in the conference games, seeing him in the finals. I can see that if he comes to my Sixers, right? but I was thinking of the teams on the East, because I heard that a lot of the teams he wanted is the East. I'm thinking about the Sixers and the Heat. If they have a player like Dame Lillard on their team, you know how good that team will do? And I feel like with the Portland fans, and by the way, I didn't see a lot of hate. When LeBron James went to the Heat from the Cleveland, you seen all the hate. Twitter, everybody, talking on TV. With Dame, I didn't see that as much. I think people feel bad for Dame. Like, he's been so loyal to this franchise for so long. A franchise that doesn't win, that doesn't go to the postseason and win games. They don't do that. So now we have a star player, and we've seen it time and time again where so many great players stay on the team and they don't get a chance to play on the big stage and see how good they really are. I think Dame Lillard is so great for him. He finally can get a chance to leave Portland and go out there to play one of these contenders and be a true champion like we think he really is.
Very fair. Slick, on Friday, you said the most fascinating thing in regards to this conversation.
Yes, you did, Slick. Yes, you did.
Let's take a listen to it.
I would just say relax, because he hasn't asked for a trade yet. I still expect that it's going to happen.
Slick, what are my lottery numbers, man? Like, tell me who I need to pick. Tell me what I need to pick.
The golden touch. Slick with the golden touch. That's your new name.
So this is what I heard different, and what I've heard different from Damian this summer, which is what led me to believe that we were eventually going to end up here. Because prior to this, we have heard consistently, I want to win a championship in Portland. And what we heard this summer is, I want to play for a championship. That's different.
Right.
And then he's on a podcast, and he specifically mentions the Miami Heat as a place that he would love to go to if they don't win a championship because he wants to be that missing piece. So everything that Damian has done is intentional. And he was steadfast. I mean, he had LeBron James recruiting him, had any number of places that wanted him to come. And prior to this summer, he was always, no, I'm staying here. Now, at age 33, and I thought that this was set as soon as the Blazers used the number 3 pick on Scoot Henderson, because he said, I want to play for a championship. And he gave them the ingredients that he thought that they needed. Re-sign Jeremy Grant. Go get me a Draymond Green. And let's go get some veteran help with that number 3 pick.
Right.
Well, the Blazers were not moving in that direction. So when they had the meeting and we came out of it and everybody was saying, well, he didn't ask for a trade. It was like, no, I'm going to give them every opportunity to show me that they are going to go in the same direction. And so when free agency opened, and other than signing Jeremy Grant, they didn't go get Draymond Green or any semblance of a Draymond Green. It was like,
What we doing?
I told you what it would take. And so that's what I think was behind the tweet that you read, which was, I'd be curious to know, like, where you think I was dishonest, because I told you what it would take for me to stay. I told you I wanted to play for a championship.
Yep.
I told you what it would take for me to believe that I could play for a championship in Portland.
Yep.
And you didn't do that. So me now asking for a trade, that shouldn't come as a surprise.
If he does, in fact, get traded to a team like the Miami Heat, obviously, Joy, that is really the team that you would want to see Dame Lillard play on for the obvious reasons. Does that make the Heat the best team in the East? Many people doubted the Heat last year because of their talent. I being one of them. Shady, we had plenty of conversations about it. The Heat clearly had a road less traveled, difficult travel to get to the NBA Finals. Would the Heat be the best team in the East if Dame lands there?
They were the best team in the East last year without Dame. So, yes, I would say so. They were talents away from making that final series competitive. We put too much on players that shouldn't have had to carry that much water. They were role players, and they fell apart and disappeared in some pretty crucial games. So if you have someone like Dame alongside Jimmy Butler and Bam, obviously, ideally, you'd want to keep that core together with a coach like Spo and an organization that has the success track record that Miami has. Of course, they're going to be the best team in the East. The East is not going to be the same. It looks very different. If you pay close attention to the moves that were made amongst the best teams in the East this year, it's going to look different next year.
Slick, where do you stand? I'm not yet convinced Miami would be the best team in the East, because when you think about team and why Miami went so far, I think about the nucleus, the camaraderie, the chemistry, all of those pieces. I think about the fact that Max Strus did show up big at times, although he did not show up big in the NBA Finals. Gabe Vincent, we know he showed up very big in the Knicks series, amongst other games.
Yeah.
Although when they needed him most, he didn't necessarily show up the biggest. Obviously, Tyler Hero didn't play the majority of the playoffs. He would likely leave in that trade. The question also, Caleb Martin would likely end up having to leave in a trade for Dame Lillard. But do you think Dame Lillard would make the Heat the best team?
No, I believe he would make them one of the best teams. I think he would keep them relevant and capable of winning. But I look at Milwaukee, even though I'm not sold on them just holding serve and retaining Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez. If Giannis is healthy, I think that series is different, okay? I need to see what Boston is now that they've moved Marcus Smart out and Kristaps Porzingis in. So I would put Miami in with those two other teams. But to your point, like, Gabe Vincent isn't going to be there. Presumably Duncan Robinson would not be there, along with Caleb Martin. Like, a lot of what made the Heat what they were is that they had this depth and versatility with all these pieces contributing. Damian Lillard now has to come in and not only replace all of that, but then take them to the next level.
You guys are funny, right? I watched on this seat right here. Y'all tell me that these guys are role players, they're this, they're that. Now y'all telling me we're gonna miss them, and this is like, which one is it?
Both can be true.
Come on, man.
They both can be
Yo,
true.
them dudes y'all talking about are replaceable.
They
Dame
are.
Lillard ain't replaceable. If you add Dame Lillard to the Heat, I wish the Sixers would. I guess y'all took that out the equation. Anyway, if you add Dame
We'll get to that.
to the Heat, so him and Butler, first of all, they're 1A, 1B, however you want to cut it. Now you have some help. Where we watched Jimmy Buckets have to score 45, 50 against the Bucks to even have a chance to win. Now you add Dame there. Now when you need some scoring.
Okay,
Hold on. One thing about the Heat, they have no scorers that can score at a high volume. They don't. That's not Jimmy Butler's DNA.
Tyler Hero.
He didn't play.
Hey.
He didn't
Shay.
play. Let's take Hero out of him. He didn't play. Woo. So if we trade him, it's like you didn't miss anything because he didn't play.
True.
Let's
I'll give you that.
He's to the side. You bring Dame Lillard in there now that he's a scorer at high volume. He don't need no extra help. He can get it done.
Shay.
You add him and then Bam off the pick and roll. Oh my God.
Shade, I sat in this very
I'm
seat.
telling you.
I sat in this very seat.
And said what?
And I listened to you sing the praises of Gabe Vincent.
That's one dude.
That is right. So is he replaceable?
K. Martin, Duncan Robinson, those dudes are replaceable. Matt Strus, those dudes are replaceable. Those is cold.
We are not
They
arguing
shot threes,
about
couldn't play no
if
D.
the Heat
Come
are
on.
better with Damian Lillard over Gabe Vincent, right?
What are we talking about?
No, I'm not
Gabe
saying
Vincent.
one
we
for
talking about?
one. No,
Come on now. Come on, man.
But Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent.
They all got missing. They all got missing, right?
At various times, and when one was missing, the other one's delivered.
Dame Lillard's not going to get missing. He won't get missing. And if you can, these dudes you talking about, no disrespect to these players, they're NBA for a reason. You can pick some of these dudes up in free agency.
Also, you're talking about a team that develops all of those players.
Fair.
That elevates players like them into the position that we're having conversations about whether their Heat are going to be better with Dame Lillard or them. That's not happening on any other organization except for maybe the Warriors.
But in 1 year, can they develop those
Give them the
players?
walking papers.
Because Gabe Vincent wasn't developed in 1 year.
Sure.
Like Duncan Robinson was up and down.
Well, we got to decide what we want because all the way
Which
through the
one is it?
playoffs, I was
And
over here
probably
fighting tooth
you're
and
throwing-
nail to defend these players,
you're
and
taking
now all
Kyle-
of a sudden you put Dame on it and they're not as good.
You're taking Kyle Lowry out of the equation as well. I'm just saying that Damian Lillard has to carry a lot. It's not like you're just adding him to last year's team.
He's been carrying Portland for years with less help.
And how far did they get?
I mean, he's never had a number two like a Jimmy Butler.
Fair.
He's never had a number three like Bam. You get this dude them type of players.
But what did we talk about in the finals?
I don't know.
What was
but
the difference?
What I can't talk
The
about.
difference was Jamal Murray. Jokic went and got what he got every single night, and Jamal Murray and the other top players stepped up. All I could hear about was talent the entire finals.
Now we're not talking about talent.
Now it's not important?
No, I think it's both. But truly, I'd say it like this.
Duncan Robinson?
The reason the Heat got as far as they got was because their team was good.
No.
Chemistry
the
was
reason
good.
that they got as far as they
Please.
got was because of Jimmy Butler.
No, I wouldn't say that.
So we went from saying Jimmy Butler's carrying the crew, the rest of the guys. Now you guys are acting like the supporting cast is so great.
We all in the last series and a half, really from the Knicks series, later half of the Knicks series on, we realized how good the team was.
They were a good team, but all of those players had moments where they completely disappeared.
Jimmy Butler included.
And that's what
they went to their
But
regular
they all
average.
didn't disappear at the same
Jimmy
time.
disappeared because he dragged that team to the finals.
I just.
Wow, I'm about to pull tape.
Pull tape.
There's a
Pull
flip I've
some tape.
never seen in my life.
All I'm saying is, I don't think the Heat were the most talented team last year.
Nowhere near,
I
right?
don't. I think they had the best chemistry last year.
So what, Dame is going to mess up the chemistry?
When you lose 4 players and you replace them with 1, the chemistry is automatically going to change. I don't know if it will be better or be worse.
but you don't think
if 3 players on this desk are replaced with 3 other people, the chemistry will change, for better or for worse.
No, if 3 of us are replaced with one of
Can we say that though?
the best
Can we
in
sit
the
here
business?
right now for America, us, we'll bring you along. Can we all say that them guys are
No, we can't.
they're not replaceable?
No.
Duncan Robinson wasn't even playing a year ago.
You have to find
Max Strus?
You have to find 4 guys who are willing to
done.
fit into the Miami Heat culture
I'm
and
done.
can shoot and defend.
Take me out.
And if those guys were easy to find, then the
I'm
Lakers
not
would
saying
have
they're
had more
not
of them.
easy to
Like,
find, but all I could hear about the entire postseason was Miami's not talented enough.
From
Correct.
me,
Now-
from him,
Right.
and especially from him.
Yeah.
But
And
today,
now-
for some reason,
to beat the
they're not
Nuggets,
as
they weren't talented enough.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
what's that? You're getting Damian because ideally that he will take you across the threshold. Like, he will be able to perform in the finals the way Gabe Vincent couldn't, or Max Strus couldn't, or Duncan Robinson. I give you that.
Okay.
But you still need those contributing pieces, just like the Denver Nuggets needed those contributing pieces that made the difference.
You always need role players, but what would you have the Heat do? Just run it back?
I'm not saying don't do it.
That team almost didn't make the playoffs.
But I'm not. If I was adding Damian Lillard as a free agent to the Miami Heat, I'd feel
last year.
completely different. But I'm not going to dismiss the contributions that 3 or 4 that those players gave in order for them to get there.
Okay.
Individually, not great. Collectively, going to the finals.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.